Hey everybody, we're hanging out at home with the living legend himself, the Hat Sister Tim O'Connor, beloved pillar of the community.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming, this interview.
Yes, it has.
Oh,
We thought that we had
No,
years in the making.
yeah.
It has been years in the making.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim is one of our favorite regulars at the Red Inn. A member of a very small group of our favorite regulars.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I was away in Vegas for a couple weeks over the holidays. Now I'm back and enjoying this wonderful weather.
Yeah.
that we have
home.
here on the Cape in this time of year.
I was actually shocked that we caught you here and not in Palm Springs or Vieques.
I know, but not this year. But other things have come up.
That's great, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many years have you been in P-Town?
Actually, I've been coming down since 1984.
You weren't born
1984.
yet.
I was not.
No, I know. That's embarrassing.
No.
For him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, actually, it's going to be our 40th anniversary this year, July
that's right.
18th.
Awesome. What are we doing?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, you have to do something big.
Yeah.
Well, there's been talk.
Ooh.
There's been talk. So
Count
we'll
us in.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will keep you updated.
Yay.
I know. I rarely see you, as you said.
Right, exactly. We decided it wouldn't be right if we didn't have a Tanqueray martini.
Yes. Cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers,
cheers.
gentlemen. Cheers. Cheers.
How long have you
cheers.
been drinking Tanqueray martinis?
Oh, since mother's teat.
That's your mother, Mama Tang.
When did you and John Michael first meet?
We in '84, the May of '84, somewhere that era. It's just an era nowadays, but around that time, and he had a place down here, and we got together. We talked, as I've said in the past, on July 18th, and Carnival was coming up. And he said, would you like to come? And I said, sure, what is it? He said, well, it's kind of like Mardi Gras, blah, blah, blah. And I said, great. And and I had just started a new job, an architectural position in Boston. And he said, I don't have time, so whatever you wear, I'll wear. Because he did mention there were costumes. Not hats, but just costumes.
What was your first carnival costume?
The first carnival costume was when Doves Cry was years ago. There was always this song of the summer.
Yeah.
It was Princess Macrow's Doves Cry, excuse me. And I came. It was a Thursday night at the A House, and I walked into the bedroom that we shared a house in, and there was a hat full of feathers on the top, and the beak was kind of a baseball cap, and the beak was orange, and some material coming off the back, and a pair of flip flops that had feathers and bows and this, and a white Speedo.
Work.
And I went, oh, where's the costume? He said, that's it.
We're going to look for a picture of
Yeah. There's somewhere, I'm sure.
I've got one. But again, as I've said many times, much younger and much, much, much thinner 40 years ago. So we'll just leave it at that.
But the Hat Sisters were born.
The Tim and Mike, the couple, were born.
Cute.
The Hat Sister name came further down, and that's a much more involved story. The story is great, but much too involved to tell it during this time frame.
But that's how it kind of started, you two wearing hats together, the same hats.
Well, it started as the same outfit. John Michael had an affinity towards hats, which I wasn't really quite aware of. I did pick up on it when I first got to the house down here, and there were hats, like straw hats and top hats and various types of hats that were lining the walls on hooks. And I went, oh. And so the first...
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Oh, yeah, especially in this town.
Yeah, right.
One never knows.
At least it wasn't porcelain dolls.
What's in those closets? Besides people. But anyway, the second night was the Pink and Blue Ball. And as I said, I was just started this job, so I drove from Boston Thursday night. We went to the white party, won first prize. At that time, it was a half gallon of Absolute and $100. Word, yes, I know. Bring back those days.
It's probably worth like
Cheers
$900
on
now.
that. Cheers. And cheers to John Michael.
Yes.
I didn't realize that his love of hats sort of started all of that.
It did.
How many do you figure you guys have worn?
Oh, jeez.
Guess, rough estimate.
Well, 33 years. Average during the summer, 3 a week. And so that's, well, 33, 66, you know what? I would say,
Thousands.
I would say a thousand or more. A thousand or more. But I mean, that was because as you know, we did benefits, all over the place. And there was always a different hat for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And so the next night, I drove from Boston, went back to Boston on Friday morning. It was the Pink and Blue Ball at the Gifford House. Came back. That was a silver hat covered with mylar strips, blue cape attached to that, flip-flops, and a pink Speedo.
Ooh.
But this time we were a little demure. He had created a blue satin tunic to go over. So
How modest.
How modest. Yes. And we have photographs of that as well.
Perfect. Where do the hats go?
To Hat Heaven.
Do they get deconstructed to
They
be
do.
used again?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes, the parts are used again. We used to get a lot of interesting comments from individuals because we've always made the statement that we've only worn the hat once, and basically that is true. I mean, there may have been a last minute, but the hats usually were disassembled. Pieces were taken apart and put away, and maybe the base that we had was part of it, and we just took something else to make another hat. So, I mean, there was a new creation every time we went out. But the only time there may have been, excuse me, not another sighting of a hat would be when there was much too much work going into it.
Right.
Just for a 30-second, hello, I'm here type thing. That it
Gotta
was
save
just,
those.
it was, yeah.
There's some in the house.
Are there
There are some in the house.
They're hidden.
are there some somewhere else? Is there another location where the hats are?
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes. They're in
What?
storage units.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll just see.
What I would do to pick around those storage units.
If you want, you're more than welcome. Take whatever you want.
I love that.
It'll save you a lot of money in the long run.
Right.
You guys went some crazy places together. Like you worked with the Village People.
Yes.
Tiny Tim. Can you tell
Tiny
that
Tim.
story real quick?
Yes, it was a benefit in Rhode Island, and it was Rocky something. It was an amusement park. I can't remember exactly what the title was, but they were honoring Tiny Tim, and they asked us, the Rhode Island AIDS group invited us down and asked if we would present a Hat Sister hat to Tiny Tim, and we said, of course. So we went down, and when we got there, we realized that it was also the Village People were performing as well. And yeah, it was. And it was a very small dressing room, and the Leatherman took a very much liking to John Michael.
Oh.
And I went, excuse me. Hello. Yeah, but it was all good. But the Tiny Tim thing is, it was our time to present the hat, and we walked out with the hat, and Tiny Tim took it on that, this is more time for 100 bottles of beer on the wall or one of his things, and we ended up being backup dancers for Tiny Tim for this duration, holding the hat, dancing with the tulips. But then we did another benefit with the Village People. That was in Boston, and we didn't tell. There was a group of us. It was mostly guys that were in the house with us on Soper Street, and we all liked getting in costume, and we decided that we would be the drag Village People. And so we didn't tell anybody. And so Tim and Mike, the Hat Sisters, were performing, but we said, we have our friends, they're going to help us. And so we're in the back room. And so as the Village People left to perform, we all had our drag and went as the drag Village People.
So like drag construction workers.
I was, John Michael was military, another friend was the Native American. Sorry. I'm old. I'm so sorry. I was the cowgirl, and I mean, it was hysterical.
Adorable.
And when we just walked out and all stood behind our respective counterparts, well, they continued performing. They were professionals, but they were not happy with us.
They were?
Not too much, but it was hysterical. Everybody else loved it. So.
Imitation's the greatest form of flattery.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what we thought. That's
It was
what we
for
thought.
everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another Village People. And then we did the Weather Girls. We performed with them. We were told not to eat. There was a huge container of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we were told not to go near it.
Those are for the weather girls.
Seriously.
Those are a couple girls after my own heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't touch that fried chicken.
But we've done stuff with Christopher Reeve, Marlo Thomas, Sarah Jessica Parker, Maggie Broderick. I mean, we've been,
Bob and Harrison.
Bob and Harrison, the Queer Eye guys,
The old ones or the new ones?
older ones.
Okay.
Well,
The original.
yeah, the original ones. Yes. Again, my apologies, Carson Presley or anybody else. If you're listening to me, my apologies. I was led into that. So yeah, that was another interesting story in Puerto Vallarta. But again, enough of the stories.
No, I love that. So you drink Tanqueray.
Yes.
John Michael drank
Knob Creek.
Knob Creek,
Or
Bullet.
bourbon.
He was bourbon. He was a bourbon guy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Maybe we should have had those instead. An homage.
Well, for you two, I can't do bourbon. I'm sorry. We were very. That was all worked out really well between the two of us. We had our own specific
oh, perfect.
beverages.
Right.
So you would never have to argue over who drank more of the bottle. Smart.
Yes. We each had our own. And stash it. No, I'm teasing.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. It was never an issue.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
My pleasure.
It was so good to
Thank you
see
so
you.
much. It's always great to see you boys, and thank you for having me on. This is great.
It's
Thank
really
you
an
for
honor to sit down
everything
with you.
you've done for the community at large.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you've done a lot of good.
Appreciate that.
And still are.
And thanks to Mark as well. Thanks,
We'll
Mark.
see you guys soon. Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
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 Oh.
Oops. Oh,
It happens.